pot up your cucumbers. Now I've got two varieties of cucumbers. I've got the Spanish ones over here on the right hand side, and I've harvested about 8 of these so far, so they're doing really well. There's loads of flowers on these, and there's lots of tiny little cucumbers. On the left hand side here I have another variety. These are called is it White Wonder? No, that's a tomato. I think it's, oh look, it's on here. Yes, White Wonder. And I've potted on 4 of these, and I've just got one more to do. I did harvest one of these this morning, but there are lots more flowers here, and there are lots more little cucumbers growing. So next time I harvest them, then I will show you. I have done all of them apart from one, and this plant has actually been waiting for a very long time. I'm going to have to be very careful when I do this one. It's been sitting in its 3-inch pot and desperately waiting for me to do it, but I've been really busy, so I've now only just now been able to get round to do it. A couple of the leaves at the bottom have gone a little bit droopy, but once this gets in its bigger pot, then it'll be fine. If you look at the bottom, you can see, it's like holding a snake. You can see all the roots. So it is pot bound, which means that it needs to go into a bigger pot. So all the roots have come through the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transplant it into a 2-litre pot. So let me show you how I do that. So I've got my 2-litre pot here. I've half filled it with compost, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this very carefully out of its pot. So support the stem with a couple of fingers, turn it upside down, squeeze it. Now I'm going to have to remove some of these roots, which won't be a problem because it will grow lots more, and out comes the plant. Now I'm going to have to be so careful with this. I need to then put it in the compost, and you can put it a little bit deeper than it was in its 3-inch pot, and then all I'm going to do now is I'm going to fill in round the plant with some more compost, just like that. Once it's full up, I will give it a gentle push down, and if you need to put a little bit more in, then do. So now it's in its 2-litre pot. All I need to do now is to move it back into the greenhouse. Now what I have done is I've put the cucumber in the tray in the greenhouse, and cucumbers need a structure to climb up. If you don't give them a structure to climb up, then they'll just kind of sprawl all over the place. They do have tendrils, which are these little sort of sticky, long sticky things, which will twisty around something, anything that they get hold of. But sometimes you just need to give them a little bit of a helping hand to start with. So what I have done is I have put a cane in the pot, and I have attached it to the staging. I'm lucky because I can do that with my staging. Hopefully you can do it with yours as well, but if you can't, try and make a sturdy structure that your cucumbers can climb up. Now my cucumbers are indoor ones. You can buy cucumbers that grow outside as well, so just check which variety you've got as to whether they are indoor ones or outdoor ones. Once I've put the stick in, I have then very carefully attached the plant to the stem. Now don't do it too tightly, otherwise once the stem starts to get a bit thicker, if you've got the string too tight, then it will the string will cut into the stem and may well break the stem, and we don't want that because then you'll lose part of your plant. So I've done that. I've done it in 3 sections because it's quite long, this one, and just keep an eye on it as it grows. And if you need to attach it with some more string as it gradually climbs higher and higher, then do. But that is, hopefully, I won't have to attach it again because the tendrils will grab hold of the stick, and then they'll help support the plant as it grows. As I've said, there are loads and loads of flowers, and they seem to be pollinating really well. If you have problems with pollination, that it's not happening, then what I would suggest you do is you get a tiny little paintbrush and you go into the flowers and just wiggle it around, and then just move the pollen yourself around to the flowers, and then you can get some cucumbers. I don't know whether you can see that one there. You should be able to. There's a cucumber there, there's one there. Oh gosh, they're growing, there's loads there. They're growing all over the place, which is fabulous. So hopefully I will get lots and lots of cucumbers. Don't worry, there's one here. I'm just going to take this off to show you. There's one here which is shriveled up and gone brown. Okay, don't worry if that happens. It happens to some things. There's obviously, there were actually two growing very close to each other, so maybe that was why. But the plant will just get rid of any that it doesn't want. Make sure that you water from the bottom, then the compost in the pot can soak up the water. Don't keep them overwatered, because that's how you get the powdery mildew. And once you've got powdery mildew, it's very, very difficult to get rid of. So what I tend to do is I tend to half fill the tray with water. I let all of that go, leave it for a day, and then I'll put a little bit more in. It's a case of little and often with cucumbers. They don't like to be too wet all the time. So, excuse me, so that is my cucumbers. Now they're all in, so hopefully I'll be getting lots more cucumbers. Well, I hope you found that useful, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.